Opposition parties are slamming Prime Minister Netanyahu on Monday for the deals that he struck with his far-right and ultra-Orthodox coalition partners in order to secure their votes in support of the 2023 to 2024 budget. Well, the government needs to pass this budget by May 29th, or it's going to collapse and snap elections will be called. Now, both the religious United Torah Judaism party and the far-right Otzma Yehudit party have been threatening to vote against the budget if it doesn't include additional funds for ultra-Orthodox communities and for the Negev and Galilee ministry, respectively. Well, after marathon negotiations, Netanyahu has agreed to fork over $137 million more to fund yeshiva students and their families, and to fund National Security Minister Ben Gvir's plans to, quote, Judaize the Negev and the Galilee. Opposition leaders say that this budget fails to address the cost of living crisis in Israel. They're also claiming that it's going to damage the Israeli economy by shutting down the engines of growth. But are they right? Well, joining us now is Gilad Katz. He's a former political advisor to Prime Minister Netanyahu. So I'd like you to first break down what we know about this budget so far. How is the money being divided?
Well, 70% of the budget, any budget, is divided. I mean, there's nothing you can change because we're talking about projects that last years, sometimes even over a decade. What really annoys the opposition, and I totally understand them, that is why they are in the opposition, and that's politics. What annoys them is that they are in the opposition, and they truly thought, I don't understand why, but they thought that for some reason the coalition and Netanyahu won't be able to pass this budget. And if that would be the case, then the government would topple. Now they understand that it looks like that the path is totally clear, and that the budget will be.
Yeah, but what is that budget? That's what I want to know. I'm not asking about the.
I think the issue is around 13 billion shekel over the course of 2 years. Because this budget is for 2023, 2024. Now, we're talking about a budget, the total amount of the budget is $1 trillion.
Right.
Out of that $1 trillion for 2 years, we're talking about 13 and a little more than $13 billion, which is 1.3% out of the total budget. That's what they're talking about. It's not really, if anyone thinks, and I'm sure that most of your viewers didn't know these numbers because for some reason they're hidden, but we're talking about less than 1.5% of the total budget that they are, that the opposition is claiming to be sort of buying the coalition is buying their ability to survive.
So I'd like to ask you, how is this budget going to address the sky-high cost of living in this country?
Well, that's only the budget has a lot of issues that relate to that, but that's only one. That's only one course. There are other courses such as having new laws in action. Others are having new, I would say, regulations that are needed, and they are trying to, as we all know yesterday, unfortunately, but that's the case, the inflation is up, and that's why was decided to once again higher the interest. So we're not talking about the budget. Is only one I would say one opportunity for the government to succeed in fighting the cost of life. But that's only one path. We have a lot. The government has a lot of other plans, And I hope.
What are those plans? Because as far as the Israeli public is concerned, there's being almost nothing done to combat this issue. And it is, when you're looking at polls, when Israelis are asked what matters the most to them and what they also want to see passed in this budget, measures that they want to see money going towards, funding going towards addressing, you mentioned it, inflation. There doesn't seem to be any measures to combat structural price drivers.
According to all, that's what they said at least yesterday. According to all the pundits related to the inflation, they are at least hoping that until the end of 2023, meaning in about half a year from now, the inflation will start lowering down. Now, once that happens, then the government can invest much more money into the issues that may help the average Israeli in feeling in his day-to-day life, feeling that the expensive cost will lower down. It will take time. We know that this is going on in the entire world. In all the democratic countries, we don't have a magic wand that all of a sudden we'll see a change. It takes time. Hopefully,
well, we know that there are certain measures that could be taken that would address a lot of the cost of living issues in this country that don't seem to be. I mean, I have to say, asking you several questions about this, there didn't seem to be any clear answer here in terms of measures. But unfortunately, we have run out of time. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, Gilad Katz.